The most serious misuse of energy on this planet and the most devious thing the Syrians have done towards the Mother Goddess is probably when they went back on their promise to pay on the debt. Well, this one indeed has to do with misused energy. Because if this is not misused energy, I don't know what is. I'll explain. In this universe, the purpose of all things is that they are supposed to evolve, intelligent beings more so, even. The builders and the original founders decided that all so-called intelligent beings in this universe, who started out on a material world, in order to evolve and learn the childhood lessons, have to have one thing built into their DNA, namely the urge to evolve as a species and a longing for the stars. This doesn't mean that all species in the universe decide to become star travelers, because at one point it's their own choice, but it was built into their DNA to begin with. The same thing applies to Homo sapiens. Even if a devious star race is creating a new race by manipulating their DNA, this thing was built into the original being, but also needs to be made sure is built into the manipulated ones. So, when AI and the Syrians experimented with the humans, they still had to make sure that they make progress. And if a star race works as administrators on a certain world, they need to make sure they don't interfere with the evolving race in such a manner they can't evolve. The Syrians are blunt enough to call themselves the new administrators of Earth, taking over after the Titans. We can say that they indeed are interfering, but they get away with it, because they have our consent, even if it was given to them through manipulation. The warlords then shut the doors to our planet, so to speak, by closing the stargates and the grid system, and also quarantined the planet and changed its frequency so that it trapped the beings who were still here. Other star beings from outer space could no longer find Earth where it's supposed to be, and other star beings and star races who were here when it happened got trapped here on Earth together with Homo sapiens. Many of them still live underground or in very remote areas. Others have blended in with the human population. They eventually got caught up in the recycling system as well and implanted with amnesia. Since then, they don't even know they are not Homo sapiens to begin with. Humans, per universal laws, still needed a chance to evolve, and the Syrians knew it. If they didn't let us evolve, or give us the chance to, they would be in deep trouble for breaking such a law. The Overlords implemented free will to the extreme here on this planet so they could work more freely with us humans and had us agree with them by creating belief systems which the Syrians could control, for one. But they had to think long and hard to come up with a solution to how they could let humans evolve at the same time as they kept them stagnant. That was a serious contradiction. After all, they had to prove to the Queen of the Stars that humankind, in spite of Syrian administration, evolved. Due to the law of free will, a planet can get new owners during its lifetime. Sometimes it happens through war. One star race kicks another one out, or a star race bargains with the current owner about ownership like we humans bargain about ownership of real estate. The reasons for change of ownership are many, but if there is an evolving race on the planet when it happens, that evolving race needs space to evolve. The Syrians knew they broke this law and had to solve this problem. So, what they did was that every once in a while, they let a few souls fall through the crack and escape out in the universe instead of going through the tunnel of light and be recycled. Syrian spirit guides, after these people had died, showed them the way to freedom and let them escape without any further recycling. The ones who were allowed to escape were the so-called evolved ones. The Syrian now felt that they had met their obligations. In reality, what they did was to choose a soul which had been so depleted of energy after being recycled over and over on Earth that she was more or less useless. Most of the souls they sent back to Orion were more dead than alive, and had to be rescued, like an exhausted swimmer lost at sea, being picked up by sailors when he is almost drowning from exhaustion. These souls were more or less the only ones the Queen of the Stars got back to pay off the debt, meaning the Syrians had to show that humans actually evolved. So, by doing this every now and then, the warlords thought they'd obeyed the law and all was fine, and life went on as usual.